I want to hand it over initially to this young group right here, beautiful group. I'm going to pin their screen so that they are at the front or so we can see them. And then let you ladies introduce yourselves. And then at the end, we'll open it up for questions both ways. If you guys have questions for us, or if our group has questions for you, we'll open it up for you guys, okay?
Good, thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
We are the Amanda Clearcreek Chapter. We are the ad issues team. My name is Autumn. I'm Emily Buckley. I'm Morgan Coucher. I'm Carly Perry. And then my name is Hannah Song. And just to give everybody a little bit of background in case you don't really fully understand what's going on, we are part of the Amanda Clearcreek FFA chapter here in Amanda, Ohio. And we are participating in the agricultural issues career development event. And in this event, we find an agricultural topic that affects at the local, state, national, even international level. And part of our contest is that we host forums or give presentations to related groups. So we're here today to kind of give you our 15-minute presentation and then answer any questions that you might have and hear any feedback that you guys have for us.
Can you guys hear us okay? Like, is the audio coming through?
Some of you, just be sure you speak up, but yes.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and begin.
In 1936, newspaper mogul William Randolph Hearst's empire of newspapers began printing yellow journalism, the 20th century's version of fake news. This media misrepresentation deliberately demonized marijuana and connected its uses with violent crimes.
The effect was enormous. In the same year, a film was produced called Reefer Madness. This film featured a trio of drug dealers leading innocent teenagers to become addicted to reefer cigarettes by holding wild parties with jazz music. In one of the storylines from the film, a boy kills his entire family with an axe, all due to the reefer madness. The public outrage snowballed into widespread panic and attitudes about cannabis. Soon, there were government official posters warning murder, insanity, death. Police officers stated that marijuana created a lust for blood and gave users superhuman strength. The entire country had become terrified of a plan. So where's the conspiracy? Well, Hearst had huge investments in the timber industry, but hemp was both cheaper and stronger than paper pulp. In 1937, just 1 year later, after considerable media-fueled, or perhaps media-created moral panic, the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 was passed. The act made possession or transfer of cannabis products illegal in the United States under federal law. At this time, all classified forms of cannabis, including hemp, were deemed Schedule I drugs. There are arguments against the notion that a conspiracy caused the drugs to be made illegal. However, it is undeniable that there was a network of vested interests which very conveniently closed in on marijuana and, by extension, the hemp industry. Good afternoon. We represent the Amanda Clearcreek FFA chapter, and today we're going to speak with you about the future of industrial hemp production in the United States and how the fake news of the 1930s continues to affect the legal use of this plant in our country and around the world. Though the cannabis plant hemp has been on the earth for thousands of years, hemp growing has made a recent comeback for economic and environmental purposes. Hemp has been viewed negatively in society because it is closely related to marijuana, and marijuana is deemed a Schedule I drug. However, research has proved that marijuana and hemp are not the same plant and have different tetrahydrocannabinol or THC levels. THC is a principal psychoactive constituent of cannabis that creates the high. Farmers throughout the country have been able to grow hemp due to the passage of the 2018 Farm Bill, legalizing growing hemp in all 50 states. The Farm Bill confirmed the legalization of hemp, including the cultivation, transport, and sale of it. To ensure that hemp could not share the same psychoactive properties as marijuana, the federal government said that hemp plants cannot be harvested if they have a THC level of more than 0.3%. However, with its similarities in appearance to marijuana, hemp faces continued discrimination as a viable industrial product. Today, we have hold on a scene between a consumer and environmentalist at a local urban activity. The environmentalist is staffing a booth promoting industrial hemp production, and the consumer is a concerned wife and mother.
Good afternoon. Thanks for stopping at our booth. I'm a communications specialist for the Environmental Defense Fund, an environmental group dedicated to finding sustainable solutions to protect our environment. Would you like to hear about the benefits of industrial hemp?
Absolutely not. Why do you think it's okay to be promoting a product with THC in it? As a mother, I am concerned about the access of marijuana by our youth. And adding hemp as an agricultural product just makes marijuana more accessible. Marijuana and hemp are virtually indistinguishable by appearance. Although there are key morphological differences commonly observed between hemp and marijuana, a study of 97 cannabis strains found that chemical analysis of the THC content was the only way to distinguish between marijuana and hemp varieties. Unlike hemp, marijuana typically has a THC content of 15 to 25%. It would be very easy for a grower to have marijuana plants next to hemp plants and further flood the market with this dangerous drug. The lab test to identify the THC concentration can take weeks, and law enforcement officials around the country say that they don't have a test that can accurately differentiate between legal hemp and illegal marijuana. I don't want my children anywhere near a product with THC in it.
I understand your concerns. However, according to an article in the Chicago Tribune, hemp is not the same as marijuana. Hemp has such low levels of THC that it is considered non-psychoactive. Thus, it cannot produce a high like marijuana can. Additionally, the 2018 Farm Bill states that hemp plants cannot be harvested if they have a THC level of more than 0.3%. And hemp has so many environmental benefits. Hemp offers many different uses that can promote a more sustainable world. Hemp products can be recycled, reused, and are 100% biodegradable. Hemp also has the power to reduce global warming because it takes out large amounts of carbon dioxide, more than most plants. Industrial hemp is also a very robust, competitive plant that will outcompete weeds. This basically means that hemp collects carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and makes the air we breathe much cleaner.
I'm in favor of sustainability and finding ways to protect our air and water quality, but my number one concern and priority is protecting the health and well-being of my children. And the growing of industrial hemp that could lead to illegal marijuana production is something that I am completely against. A 2019 New York Times article states that there is a quirk in the chemistry of hemp plants that can cause them to overproduce THC when stressed by things like lack of irrigation. State agricultural departments randomly test each hemp field to see if it has gone hot, as the phenomenon is called. One New York farmer was forced to destroy 2,000 pounds, or nearly $10,000 worth of industrial hemp that had produced too much THC because of poor growing conditions. How many other fields of hemp are accidentally producing plants with elevated THC levels that have not been destroyed and can pollute our society as illegal marijuana? The inconsistencies in the product and lack of accurate testing to ensure the product to be safe are too problematic for me to support industrial hemp at this time.
Fortunately, according to a study conducted by North Carolina Cooperative Extension, states that less than 10% of hemp fields are going hot. So the chances of the product turning into illegal marijuana is quite small. And those chances are not enough to stop promoting hemp for its positive environmental benefits. In addition to improved air quality, hemp could save our planet from deforestation by replacing trees for the production of certain items. It is believed that within 100 years, there will be no rainforest at all. Hemp could be the answer to that problem. While trees take years to mature, hemp can be grown in just 4 months. Therefore, this plant could replace trees as a source of raw material for paper, textiles, rope, and even concrete. Hemp can also be used to make biodiesel fuel and animal feed. Hemp plastic, or bioplastic, is also another promising product for our future. They are lightweight, biodegradable, and can replace many oil-based plastics. A normal plastic bottle can take up to 1,000 years to decompose, whereas a plastic bottle made of hemp only takes 3 to 6 months to decompose.
We just heard our local environmentalist and concerned mother voice their viewpoints. While our consumer is justified in her concerns about the safety of hemp being grown in the community, the environmentalist also has valid points about the positive effects of hemp production and how it could benefit our environment. This conversation, however, goes beyond the local setting. Our next team is set in an annual Ohio Farm Bureau meeting. Our speaker for the day is an economist representing the Ohio State University, and the other is an apprehensive law enforcement officer. Thank you all for attending our session on industrial hemp production in Ohio. I am excited to share with you, our potential growers, the economic possibilities associated with growing hemp. As an economist at OSU, I've had the chance to study the financial benefits of hemp. Hemp is a sustainable crop for our environment. Farmers growing this crop will have an increase in margin value and less worries about low yield production. Farmers have the potential to earn 40 times more growing hemp than growing corn, which is the #1 crop in the U.S. According to the USDA, studies have also shown that CBD could potentially lead to revenue over $40,000 per acre compared to less than $1,000 per acre of corn. With that being said, corn and other crops are more susceptible to crop failure without pesticides, and hemp is an aggressive plant that doesn't need pesticides to compete with weeds. This reduced use of pesticides will save the farmer time and money.
Dr. Perry, you make some very good points regarding how hemp can lead to economic growth, but there are a few problems with your argument. While it is predicted that 1 acre of hemp can be worth up to 40 times that of an acre of corn, that is based on the mainstream use of CBD. CBD is a non-intoxicating cannabinoid found in cannabis, claiming many health benefits. However, as a law enforcement officer, I've been involved in the raiding of health food stores across the country, across Ohio, that carry illegal products with CBD oil. You also stated that if farmers grow hemp, they will not have to worry about low yields. However, they will have additional concerns about production in the fields that are negatively stressed by poor growing conditions going high and THC levels becoming too high. If a tested plant has a THC level of more than 0.3%, the whole field has to be destroyed by a team of law enforcement officers like myself, thus resulting in a huge economic loss for the farmer.
You have listed some challenges facing industrial hemp production, but the health benefits and potential economic benefits from the use of hemp in making CBD products far outweigh the concerns. CBD is an appealing option for those who are looking for relief from pain and other symptoms without the mind-altering effects of marijuana or certain pharmaceutical drugs. The 5 main uses of CBD oil are for relieving pain, reducing anxiety and depression, alleviating cancer-related symptoms, reducing acne, and increasing heart health, according to Healthline. With an increase in anxiety nationwide, sales data provided by Statista shows that U.S. consumer sales of CBD will reach around $1.8 billion by 2022. This is a massive increase of about $500 million from 2018. With consumers embracing CBD products and trends and expecting an increase in sales, it is economically beneficial for farmers who are growing traditional crops like corn and soybeans to consider venturing into industrial hemp production.
Dr. Perry, your numbers showing the income potential for industrial hemp and CBD products is enticing. However, as a law enforcement officer, our citizens and communities are my #1 priority. I am concerned about the economic impact on our communities as we enforce laws pertaining to marijuana and hemp production. In Utah, a driver transporting hemp was arrested on suspicion of marijuana trafficking, and a farmer in New York was surrounded by state troopers and questioned for hours while attempting to load bales of hemp on a truck at the edge of the spot. In these situations, it's difficult to know how to proceed as legal hemp and illegal marijuana plants look identical, and the tests available to law enforcement in the field just test for the presence of THC, not its level of toxicity. These added issues of enforcing laws regarding legal hemp and illegal marijuana add to the economic burdens on our communities.
We just heard from a respected economist who believes in the economic benefits of industrial hemp production, and a law enforcement officer who is concerned about the safety of citizens as the popularity of industrial hemp and CBD products flood the market while trying to enforce drug laws associated with illegal marijuana. Today we looked at the pros of industrial hemp production, which are increased environmental and health benefits. Industrial hemp has the potential as a renewable resource to positively impact our planet by improving air quality, reducing the need for timber, and replacing oil-based plastics. CBD products also have the potential for numerous health benefits and are a promising economic venture for farmers wanting to diversify. We also explored the cons of industrial hemp, which include the concerns by citizens about limited testing available and economic concerns from law enforcement officers worried about the time and cost of enforcing industrial hemp and illegal marijuana laws.
As an environmentalist, I believe industrial hemp can help save our planet by providing a renewable resource that will make production of our products more sustainable. It is time to end the era of fake news surrounding hemp.
As a mother in the 21st century, I'm well aware of the ridiculousness of the 1936 film Reefer Madness. However, drug-related crimes in our communities are rising, and keeping my children safe from potential drug risks is my top priority. As an economist, I see the potential for great economic growth surrounding the production of industrial hemp that William Randolph Hearst did not capitalize on in the 1930s. The opportunities for our farmer and economy are extraordinary, with the predictions of hemp product sales in the billions. As a law enforcement officer, I realize the vast difference between keeping our citizens safe since the passage of the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 more than 80 years ago. The limited testing capabilities and identical look of the hemp and marijuana plant provide additional challenges and risks for law enforcement agencies. Thank you all for sharing your thoughts so we better understand it. While there are major benefits and concerns associated with the production of industrial hemp that was legalized by the passing of the 2018 Farm Bill, this conversation that took place here today gave us, as environmentalists, consumers, economists, and law enforcement agents, a more encompassing view on the issue. The Amanda Clearcreek FFA chapter would like to thank you for your time and will now answer any questions that you may have.
Woo, good job. Very good job. Everybody's on mute.
Good job. Good job.
Amazing.
Awesome, awesome. So Darwin, I don't know if clapping, raising hands. Thank you very, very much for the presentation. Ladies, a couple of people logged in after you had started. Would you mind just giving another real quick intro as to why you're giving this presentation and what your goal is?
Yeah, of course. So we are the Amanda Clearcreek, or we represent the Amanda Clearcreek FFA chapter from Amanda, Ohio. And we are part of the Agricultural Issues Career Development event, which is a contest that we participate in each year. So basically what we do is we pick an agricultural issue that has effects on the local, state, national, and international levels. And part of our contest is to give our presentations to people who are connected with the industry. So I had the opportunity to reach out to Mandy, and we had a one-on-one presentation, and then she invited us to be on here today where we could talk to a lot more people and gain a lot more knowledge. So our goal definitely short-term is we would really like to win our contest. We're definitely very competitive people, so that's where we're starting. But as time has gone on, we definitely learned a lot more about the industry and have become very passionate about educating others about the hemp industry and everything that it involves.
Who are you presenting this to?
So ultimately at the end, wait, can you repeat your question? Sorry.
Is this like a hall that you go to and everybody's going to be talking about this and you're going to be presenting your case versus other schools? How does it work?
So each individual school is allowed to pick whatever topic they want, and then there's a certain rubric that we have to follow. So we have our presentation that we just gave you. We have a question and answer session, and then we have a list of 2 pages worth of questions that we have to answer prior to the contest. And the judges go through and then score us on all those different points. But hemp was actually the topic that we picked, and each school was allowed to pick whatever they want. So I know in the past, some schools talk about bees and how we're seeing a concern with bees dying. There's been lab-grown meat. One school did it about tomato production. So you're literally allowed to pick any agricultural topic that is an issue that affects you. So that makes it pretty a wide area, and you can pretty much pick whatever we want. As of right now, we are the only team that I have heard of that is doing hemp production. However, I'm not sure what other states are doing or what other schools are doing, but as of right now, we're the only ones doing hemp that I know of.
Would it help you to have products to back up what you're talking about with the different possibilities for hemp?
Yes, that definitely helps us. That adds to our credibility. They want to make sure we're not making up things. So products definitely help us and add to our credibility. And I think.
All right, just if you could send Mandy your address where I should send some products from hemp products, I'll send you a bunch of hemp products so you can have it at your display.
Okay, that would be very awesome. Yes.
And he's talking about like industrial I don't know what else you'll send, but he does things like.
No, I'll send them whatever, I'll send them CBD products, I'll send them all kinds of products so they could, get a really good variety of what you could do with hemp. And they'll have the products right there, all packaged, ready to go.
So I'll open it up. Does anybody have questions or anybody else have questions? And then back to you, ladies. I don't know if you guys have specific questions that would help you prepare for your presentation. But yeah, I'll open it up both ways. If you guys want to raise your hand, I can call on you, or go ahead and take yourselves off mute. You're welcome to jump into conversation, give feedback, anything you heard in the presentation. By the way, ladies, I noticed that some things changed in your presentation. Did they? Yeah, it was very good, very good.
I love
Our teacher has been holding us captive almost. It feels like working on it, but we're happy to make improvements where we can.
I love the fact that you said the fake news is what contributed to the industrial hemp being taken off the shelf. I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with Mandy a while back, and we were basically talking about the same thing. So I really love what you're doing. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's really truthful too. When we were starting our research, this was actually our presentation from last year, but then when everything got shut down because of COVID-19, that included us as well. So when we first started doing our research, I personally didn't know a lot about hemp, and really the rest of us didn't either. And then we kind of found out that was why. That over 80 years ago, there was kind of some misinformation or even false information out there about it, which then contributed to hemp not being out there. So.
Mandy, get an address for me to ship. I'll send them a lot of product. They'll have fun with it.
Well, for sure. I told them last time I'd like to get their blazers made out of hemp.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been trying to get people to do that, and I've been waiting now for 6 months for samples. It's wild.
Oh my God. I'm not surprised.
So, is anybody else on the call? Rich, I saw you. Yeah, go ahead.
I would just like to ask you girls, amazing presentation. I really enjoyed it. And do you make this presentation available somehow? So maybe in the PDF format, or maybe in a video format, because that's kind of a presentation I think a lot of people like to see when they think about this whole subject. The truth and the history of hemp should be put in a lot of platforms. So if you can make a presentation out of it, or somehow we could share it, that would be a really nice thing. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Mandy usually records these and then posts them online. And probably after the state contest, then we can publish it. We don't want to publish too much right now because we don't want our competitors to kind of get the edge on us. So we don't want them to steal our ideas or anything like that. So we're waiting about another month until we have our state contest, depending on how we do there. Maybe we want naturals or kind of what happens. I think we're definitely trying to find ways to publish it. I know we have a YouTube channel. So maybe after our competition, we might be able to post this and maybe share it a little more.
And I will share with you guys who have been on, I will send out the video link and the transcribed content, so you guys will have it.
I'll post it on my website.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies. Amazing.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Are they getting coached, and are they being able to be coached in the presentation to kind of wrap it up a little differently, so that the professionalism against the other competitors, they can kind of nail it?
I think that what their instructors are on right now. I don't know if Scott is on and can answer to that question.
He is not on right now, but we can write notes for him. He actually had to go on a trip, and then our other art teacher got sick. So we are by ourselves today, but we can take.
Scott, are you on?
Well, Mandy, actually, I am watching. Yes, I'm on my daughter's cell phone. So, I was spying. It's all good. Yeah, I mean, any pointers you guys can give or facts or any suggestions that we can, we can incorporate in. We don't want to change too much necessarily because they're trying to memorize the script and get it set for the state contest. We don't want to change too much, but anything you guys can give us, we will definitely incorporate into that as much as we can. That'd be awesome.
So I will share when I send this out. Scott, are you okay if I share your email? So if people have direct feedback, they can reach out to you specifically.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah,
okay,
definitely. That way I can get all those and we can compile them all. And one of the big parts of the contest too is obviously their presentation, but the judges ask them questions. And then the more facts and firsthand accounts and examples they can give, the better. So that would be excellent. We can definitely add that information in there.
Fabulous. Okay, I'm going to call on Stephen really quick and then Susie next. I saw Susie's
Thank
hand.
you. Thank you. I first want to say great job, ladies. It's really nice to see youthful people speaking about an issue that adults don't even understand. So I do a radio show in Baltimore. It's called Understanding CBD. We do it every Sunday. And we interview physicians. We do great case studies, anything from legislative to people involved in the industry. And it's really great and fresh to hear your perspective. And I think you did a great job. If you would be interested, I don't know whether before or after, we'd love to have you.
Uh-oh. You're muted, Stephen.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Right.
I was saying, I think it would be a great opportunity for you to do a different format, whether it's before the contest to give you a little bit more publicity, because we do put it on podcast and YouTube. But I'd love to help out and spread your word. And thanks for taking this up, and be happy to follow up afterwards.
I really appreciate that greatly. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, great job. Really good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Susie, are you still on? And then Kirk right after Susie.
I am. Thank you so much, Mandy. Ladies, amazing work, amazing job, great presentation, awesome information. What I wanted to offer you ladies is I do a lot of educational talks on hemp and CBD, even more specifically, but I go through there's a portion of my educational talk that I dedicate simply to everything that you just covered. And so when I schedule some of the future ones that I do, I would love to have you guys incorporate that so people just aren't listening to me blab. And I would love to promote you and the research and hard work that you're putting into it, and see if we can do some form of collaboration that way, because I'm absolutely inspired by you young ladies, and I'll do whatever you guys need to support you. Amazing work.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That would be so cool to laugh at that. I think that would be a really great opportunity. Yes. Thank you to all of you guys for even being willing. Again, we knew nothing about this when we started, so we've learned a lot more, but it's so cool talking to you guys who actually know a little bit more about me or have firsthand experience about this. So we really appreciate all of you guys helping us out.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And thank you guys for offering to support. I've said for a long time, and guys, I have to turn this off because you're making me cry. Like, I really had to turn my screen off because I am so stoked. I've said for a long time, our kids are going to change the world with this plant. And so the more we support and are able to, drive their success, the better off they'll be. So Kirk, I'll turn it over to you and then Rich.
Yeah, I just want to say I apologize. I've only been on for about 5 minutes, so I missed your presentation. But I want to, as a former delegate to the National FFA Convention when I was in high school, I definitely want to do anything I can to help you. And so hopefully I can get a copy of the presentation and see what I can do and what our company can do to help you and be there to support you. So I look forward to hopefully seeing your presentation in full.
Absolutely. I'll send it over, Kirk, for sure. Go ahead, Rich.
Hey, great job, ladies. Just awesome. I love just everything that you've done and everything that you've put your energy into it. So it looked like you were telling the story that you have researched and did the research yourself instead of just listening and hearing things. I also have a lot of documentation I would love to send to you that you help you as far as studies or different things that would love to do that. One, just don't be nervous. That's one thing I'd say is just practice. It's hard to speak in front of a group and it's hard to do that, but speak from your heart, just like you did in this video, and don't be nervous about what others think about. But my question was, did each of you speak to your parents about this, and what was the response that you got from a parent's aspect, thinking, oh, you're dealing with marijuana, you're going to talk about marijuana or something like that? Because sometimes education is the best thing, and that's I appreciate you for what you're trying to do is put education out there and starting with the youth. But that was my question. How did the parents react to what you did?
Yeah, so both my parents are actually doctors, so they've dealt with the CBD aspect of the hemp plant, and it was definitely cool because they gave me a lot of information just about the use of the CBD oils and how that is used in the medical field, and so that was really cool for me just to see how that the plant can also be used for things that you wouldn't really think of, and that was cool just to get the information. But I've also talked to like my siblings about it, and they were kind of skeptical just to like they saw the plant and they're like, "Is that marijuana?" And I was like, "No, like this. I'm not promoting that. I'm promoting hemp." So it was kind of funny just to see, because that's originally what I thought when I saw the plant. I was like, marijuana, but it's definitely cool just to be able to inform people, about that.
And most of our parents are actually farmers, so they would know the difference between the two. But I have spoken with many friends, and they've seen our presentation, and they actually thought it was marijuana. And I just had a discussion with someone today where I had to sit there and like explain the difference between the two and let them know that it's not the same thing.
Yeah, and then I know I live on a family farm, and I was kind of talking to my grandpa about it, and he said, "There's no way we're growing that. It's the same thing as marijuana." So I definitely sat down with him a few times, and I was like, "No, I promise it's not." Probably the funniest person that we've had to explain the difference to would be Mr. Sharp. Yes, and he's on here, so Mr. Sharp, I know you can hear me. He helped us write this presentation, but we still have to remind him there are two different plans.
On the daily, we are reminding him two different things.
We just had a presentation on last Friday, and he was telling everybody how the CBD oil is going to make you feel, and we had to remind him, no, it's not the same thing, they're different. So I think that was pretty funny. We had to educate even the people who are supporting us, the Little Sharp family, and Mr. Sharp, we had to support a lot of people and try to jump through the hoops and tell them it's definitely not the same thing as marijuana.
Thank you again.
Yeah. Sorry to call you out there, Mr. Sharp.
You're great. And then Joel, I see your hand is raised. If anybody else has questions, go ahead and jump in.
Thank you. I'd like to, is my audio coming through? I don't have a picture, I'm sorry. But I want to thank you, young ladies, and your high school presentation. And for me, it was so therapeutic. I'm in Michigan, kind of a neighboring state. I've been working in trying to get the industrial hemp word out for some time. There's a fellow who is a Michigan State University professor and agriculturalist who's assigned to teach hemp to farmers in Michigan, and he wanted to approach the 4-H clubs in Michigan to do a summer program to educate high school students through 4-H, and he sends this back to me. Also, I heard back from my proposal for a hemp session at a statewide 4-H program this summer. It was rejected. They did not think the kids would be interested, and they were concerned about the possibility of confusion between hemp and marijuana. As an educator, that threw me into a fit of depression, if not hysteria, that I get it. Let's just all stay confused forever and not learn anything or not be clear about anything. What you have demonstrated to me is your own initiative to, in fact, look at the history, look at the subversion of this crop, and look at it, how it could be so amazing to be re-adopted as a part of our culture and our and maybe even our salvation, if you look at all of the concepts of build it back better and the environmental opportunities and the negative carbon potential. So all the honor to you, kudos, and only do a masterful presentation as you are obviously needing to do it in front of an audience. Now for us, I would hope that your instructor would have you work this more in a Zoom presentation mode for distribution, as we're in these little chiclet boxes like the Brady Bunch. If you could redo your presentation with a combination of each of you in a box and your PowerPoint slides being beneath you and good masterful audio, which we're hearing a lot of room noise. If you were to do your presentation in that form, this would really get legs, as we say, not relative to your legs that we're happening to see right now, but it would really go places. So if you can work with your instructor, Mr. Sharp, to have you deliver this in this chiclet Zoom format with good audio and your presentation, I think it's worthy to be published. And certainly I would send it to the 4-H club in Michigan and see if it changes these guys' minds. So thank you very much. You get my applause for sure. Thank you, Mandy.
Yes, Joel has a lot of experience in delivering education, so I appreciate his feedback on this a lot and the excitement for getting it into other schools and students' hands. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add? And Tim, I know you're out by them, or at least in the same state. Are you around or able to help or meet them?
Yeah, I did. I think you did a wonderful job. Really like to applaud you. My son's an 18-year-old. He was a participant in the same competition. I think it was 2 years ago, maybe 3. But I understand it takes a lot of courage to get up, and public speaking's not my favorite thing to do. So kudos to all of you for like Rich said, the energy. And I think you did a wonderful job. But I'm curious, not to throw out a question, but there's more than 200 farmers licensed last year to grow hemp in Ohio. I was one of the 200. So, but I also recognize that Ohio was, I think, the 4th to the last state to have a hemp program. So being a Buckeye here in Ohio, and I understand how a lot of our neighbors are confused. And so it's, the education's a great thing. I really think you're doing a real good job there. And I think the perspective is important too. There's a lot of things in our kitchen cabinets, in our medicine cabinets. And, you know, even if somebody was to grow some marijuana, it's not, the wheels aren't gonna fall off the bus. People aren't gonna die. That perspective, I think, is also important. And you know, I know my neighbors were curious about what I was growing, and it's a common thing to have curiosity, but the perspective of it's also, I think, important. That's what I'd like to add in.
Do you ladies have anything you want to say or any questions you have? Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add?
I don't think we have any questions. I think again, we just want to say thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to give you our presentation, to have all those connections. I know I'm going to put my email, and then Mr. Sharp's going to put his email in the chat. You can reach out to us that way. I know different questions about addresses and where to send stuff. So I'll put that in there. And then one more thing before we go. Part of our presentation is that we have a sheet and we have to have someone sign it saying that we actually did have this presentation. So if there's anybody that's willing to let me write their name down, I'll show you. It's just right here. If you would be willing to let me write your name down as a participant, just let me know.
Yeah, go ahead and write Kurt Fawcett.
Okay. We have quite a few more questions also. I saw that. I don't know if you guys are willing to go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dinah, there you go.
Hi everyone. I actually came a little bit late. I had a meeting previously, so I got the opportunity to know about that from Susie. So thank you very much, Susie, for letting me know about that. Congratulations, ladies. I did not hear the whole talk, but I love the confidence and the intensity of the information from the part that I heard. Good luck with everything that you're gonna be doing. I also have an announcement from my side, although I didn't want to take like a part from what you guys are doing, but I have a PhD in plant science, and I recently began working in hemp and cannabis. So I'm doing my postdoctoral studies at McGill University, and I'm trying to reach out to many farmers in the field as much as I can, because we are trying to develop a tool that would help outdoor growers identify or expect the amount of cannabinoids that they have in their crops grown under weather conditions. So if someone would be interested in having a 10 to 15 minute chat anytime soon, I would really appreciate that. And Mandy, I look forward to contacting you and get to know more about what you're doing. Susie told me about it, and she's so excited, and she made me very excited too. So nice to know all of you, and good luck. Very much luck for all of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Darwin, you're next. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to say, great job. I really appreciated all the effort and the enthusiasm. I am a stickler for technical accuracy, so I wanted to provide a little bit of a critique. Marijuana and hemp are two sides of the same cannabis coin, so to speak, separated only by regulatory bifurcation. And I just think it'd be really important to mention, I noticed you guys had said that they're two different plants when technically they are just two forms of the cannabis plant. And it would be important to make sure that you guys hit on that part of this amazing plant. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Darwin is, Darwin, I'm going to give you a little shout out real quick, but incredibly intelligent when it comes to the verbiage, what terms to use, standards, specifications. And so when we talk about presentation and understanding that type of stuff, I would definitely encourage you to reach out if you have questions or want to get to know that side. He is a valuable resource for sure in our industry. I hope that's okay, Darwin. We may have a bunch of teenage girls calling you, but just kidding. But yeah, I think that he said that well. Anybody else have anything that they want to add really quick or throw out
I'd like
there?
to say something, if I could.
Yeah, please.
Girls, I just want to say, as a past future farmer myself, I grew up in the 80s and did what you are doing, and doing extemporaneous speaking in the day and falling flat on my face. You did a terrific job. You didn't fall on your face. Congratulations. I'm proud of what you're all doing, and I wish you the best with all of this.
Thank you. That's really cool. Thank you.
Robert Zeiner, do you have something? I saw your mute is off.
I was actually just curious what the ladies themselves found to be the most interesting things that they learned in their own studies.
Yes.
And can you come closer to the computer so we can hear you better. Yeah, there you go.
We'll just do this. This works best.
Yeah, good casual.
Yeah, so when I was researching, I guess like when I first started, I didn't really understand the amount of benefits that hemp could provide to the environment, just with all the products that it can be made and how versatile it is. And I think that that was really eye-opening for me, because with the concerns of climate change, global warming, that kind of thing, I think that if we start looking at hemp as an option for that and just a way that that can help, I think that that was really cool for me, just with the carbon dioxide that it takes out of the air, the plastics that can be made out of it. I think that was really cool for me and interesting when I researched that.
Mine would definitely have to be all the medicinal purposes, the CBD oil. I think that was really cool. And along with what Em said, the environmental aspects were amazing.
So for me, I actually used hemp for a topic for a public speaking competition that I did previously. So I've had the chance to talk to a lot of different people about it. And probably the thing that I found the most interesting, which also is very sad, is how little information there is about the hemp plant that our farmers understand. I talked to lots of different farmers and other agriculturists, and a lot of them had no idea what I was talking about, or they thought that hemp and marijuana were the same. So it was definitely really interesting to me because I just assumed that I was an ignorant teenager, like I am most days, and that I was the only one. I know, very surprising there. So I thought I was the only one that didn't know what was going on with the hemp industry and everything that it could provide. But as time went on and I talked to more people, I realized that there are majority of farmers have no idea really anything about the hemp industry. So that was really interesting for me.
Well, I want to tell you that I'm very impressed. And I want to tell you that you ladies are actually well positioned to share the news, to let your generation know really all about it. People think that because people are young, they've been exposed to cannabis or whatever, that they will understand, like you say, about the difference between hemp and the difference between CBD and THC. You know, the reality is that even though we might assume they do, they don't. Along that point, what I would tell you is that often I've explained to people the difference between cannabis for personal use and hemp by talking about peppers. You know, people know what a green pepper is, a red pepper, a yellow pepper. They're all peppers. It's just that they have one gene that turns the color different. And the gene in hemp happens to be THC. So the one that has a lot of THC, you know, that's like the green pepper.
Like the jalapeno.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. But great job, ladies.
Yeah, thank you. The one analogy I know that we like to use, and I'll share with you guys and see what you think. If you haven't noticed, we have twins on our team. They're identical twins, so they look the same. However, they have different fingerprints. So a lot of times when we're trying to explain it to other people, we say it's kind of like twins. They look a lot alike, but there's that one difference in their fingerprint.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's great.
I love it.
I would also, what would be interesting would be if you could do the research. The hemp plant actually stays in your body for over 2 weeks, whereas any other drug actually gets dissipated out of the system within 2 or 3 days. Right. So by the body accepting the THC and the cannabinoids and leaving it in your body for that long a period of time, that's telling you that the body's accepting that. And the body will work much better by accepting something. And when it doesn't work very well with it, it releases it. And there's a huge difference between opioids and the THC in the hemp plant by it actually absorbing into the system and staying in the system.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Great perspective. Well, ladies, I would love to share your contact information or your instructors. If you guys can let me know what you want me to share at the end of this, I will share a copy of the video as well as the transcribed notes with everybody that's been on the call today. So they'll have your contact information. And then what I'd love is if you guys would like to reach out or need help reaching out to Scott, in the last email that I sent out on Monday, so the Monday update, Scott's contact info is in there. So your instructor's contact info is in there with an update about what we're doing. But again, don't hesitate to reach out to me as well.
Great. Sarah, we'll send that contact information over so you can share that with everybody.
Also, like Hannah said, could you just put your name in the chat or tell us if you would like to sign your name? I already got that. Never mind. Sorry.
Well, and anybody that didn't, keep adding your name. We'll fill up their list. This was a good group. We had nearly 40 people on. There's still 32 people signed in. So you guys did great, had a great presentation.
All right, thank you. I'm
Mandy.
Yes, go ahead.
Mandy, hey, this is Mr. Sharp again. Hey, just one quick thing. First, I would like to thank you and everybody that tuned in for all the great questions and the opportunity for the girls to present to you. It's really helpful, as it was the other day as well. Mandy, you can go ahead and put my contact information out to everybody, and that way they can get to me and then I can share it with the girls, and that would be great.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
okay,
thank you, everybody.
For anybody else, if you guys have topics you want to chat about or stay on about, this was the intent of today's meeting. Ladies, you're welcome to stay on or go, but I will leave this open for you guys. I'm happy to, provide anything else. But for now, this is it for this meeting. Next week, I was going to look up really quick and just share what my speaker was for next week and topic.
Mandy, this is Frank.
Processing.
Yeah, I believe it's important at this point. These ladies, in turn, could very easily go onto a TED Talk, and I put that in the notes there. In all candor, I think the accuracy conversation that was had recently by Joel, and that it is important to get all the factual aspects of this, and I think will give a lot more credibility to what you're doing, and any one of us that you'll contact with here will be able to help you along the way. Many of us senior guys with grandkids and things of that nature that have seen this and helped our kids and grandkids get through this. Bravo, want to get to that point. But I think that's those key points would be very good to get there. And Scott, congratulations. Get back to any of us. And my door is open to any of you on this. Like to see that produced.
Thank you. That's awesome.
I'll help you however we can. Let's do this. Obviously, and you guys, I can't thank you enough for logging on today. Like I said, I keep crying. It's really embarrassing, but there are not very many. I mean, the passion in this industry is obvious, and you guys just made me, so thank you.
Yes, thank you again. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it really more than you will ever know. This helps us so much and gives us so many great connections that we can use.
Great, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? As people log off. Okay, well, we'll call it quits. Next week, the Thursday, is all about processing, the processing piece. Ladies, you're welcome to continue to log in and share it. It's a Q&A session exactly like this, but we'll have different people present and then give a lot of opportunity to ask questions of the different types of equipment and processing, harvesting equipment and things like that. So I'll send out the link again, find it on LinkedIn, social media. And other than that, you guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Mandy, is it always at the same time and same day?
Yep, every Thursday.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for hosting me today.
Yeah, and it's the same link. The link you use today is the same link for every week. You just pick the date you want to register for.
Okay. Okay. I see. Well, see you next week, hopefully.
Okay, perfect. We'll see you later, guys. Thank you.